Welcome to another episode of Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda been number one. In this series, we go back in the day to highlight a number one R&B or rap song from the past. Then we reveal another song that was a top 5 hit on the charts during the same time period. Before we conclude by asking the rhetorical question, do you think this song woulda, coulda, or shoulda been number one instead? So let's go back to April 1984. The number one song on the R&B charts, She's Strange by Cameo. Of all the elements of soul music, funk has been most influential to the birth, development, and explosive growth of hip-hop music. And while the sampling of James Brown's massive catalog fortified the foundation for most of the music during hip-hop's early years, and George Clinton's P-Funk collective of Parliament and Funkadelic inspired the music of hip-hop's most definable period, Cameo was a key influencer to hip-hop's style and swagger. Hip-hop started in New York, and I think Cameo's New York roots is a major factor for the funk group's enduring influence on younger generations of hip-hoppers. Their New York roots also contributed to their musical diversity, uniqueness, and sustainability within the funk genre. Cameo came onto the scene in the late 70s, but unlike other funk bands, Cameo was able to remain not only relevant, but bona fide top-tier stars in the 80s. In fact, Cameo was one of the top 10 R&B soul artists of the 80s. Led by the unique voice of Larry Blackmon, who had been a student at Juilliard, the prestigious private performing arts school in New York City, Cameo had a high-tech synthesized funk sound with New York swag, custom fit for the 80s. Originally known as the New York Players, ironically, Cameo had its breakout success when it left New York in the early 80s to plant roots in Atlanta. Cameo released their 10th album, She's Strange, in January 1984, during the ATL era of their career, though the sound and style of the album's title track reflect the emerging electricity of hip-hop pulsating in the streets of New York City at the time. She's Strange is about a woman that lives life on her own terms. The way she walks, the way she talks, she's mysterious, forbidden, beautiful. What makes her strange is what makes her seductive and desired. The first 50 seconds of She's Strange is purely signature 80s funk, which was well refined from how bands sounded in the 70s. Larry Blackmon is essentially rapping on the verses of the record. She's Strange is over 7 minutes of a thrilling galactic roller coaster ride of cosmic funk. She's Strange became a number one R&B hit on April 7th, 1984, and stayed at number one for 4 consecutive weeks. But there was another song. This one, the first and only major hit by a former lead singer of one of soul music's greatest groups. The song is an up-tempo, soulful funk and reggae-flavored ballad. Can you guess this male solo artist and the name of the song? I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. In 1968, Dennis Edwards replaced David Ruffin as the lead singer of The Temptations, the biggest group in soul music in the 70s and arguably the greatest singing group ever. The Temptations' long string of hits can literally take up multiple pages of print, and many of those classic records, like my personal favorite, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, were made during the 9-year stretch that Dennis Edwards was the group's lead crooner. Edwards left the Temptations to go solo during 2 separate periods. He hit pay dirt in 1984 during his second stint as a solo artist. While Cameo flavored funk with synthesized ingredients that appealed to the taste buds of the 80s music foodie, Dennis Edwards, along with other soul vets like Al Jarreau, polished up gritty 70s R&B a bit, transforming it into a musical gourmet entree that catered to the growing upscale crowd living in and out of Black America. This sound is what became known as adult contemporary. While adult contemporary, or AC, is typically associated with smooth jazz type of ballads, there's an element of this subgenre of R&B that gets overlooked, and that's its uptempo ballads that pull around-the-way lovers and upscale power couples off the wall and onto the same dance floor. Don't Look Any Further, the title track for Dennis Edwards' 1984 album, exemplifies this dynamic as much as any record released during the period. Don't Look Any Further is actually a duet that Edwards performed with Siedah Garrett. The song is a ballad at its core, yet it's definitely a dance record filled with flavors of reggae, funk, and rock. Dennis and Siedah have nice chemistry on this song, which resembles the kind of real-life chemistry random onlookers can see in the eyes of a couple in love. I suppose passionate groove is an appropriate way to describe this record. Don't Look Any Further is about two people who have found love in each other, which is all they need in an ever-changing world. Just like the sound of R&B was changing in the mid-80s. Don't Look Any Further would peak at number 2 on the R&B charts for 2 of the 4 weeks that She's Strange was number 1 in 1984. Allow me to share 2 interesting facts about Don't Look Any Further. First, Siedah Garrett recorded the demo, but there was a fiery vocalist that was supposed to record the actual duet with Dennis Edwards. Guess who? Chaka Khan. Second, the influential hip-hop generation of the 90s knows Don't Look Any Further well, because it was sampled in Junior Mafia's 1996 Get Money remix. Led by the legendary Notorious B.I.G., the Get Money remix was just as popular as the rap song's original version, and actually is my personal favorite of the two. While it may be hard to believe, considering the string of hits the funk band will have later in their career, such as Word Up and Candy, She's Strange, in terms of chart performance, is the biggest song of Cameo's career. Don't Look Any Further was the only major hit of Dennis Edwards' solo career. She's Strange by Cameo is a great soulful record and deserved its spot at the top of R&B music for 4 weeks in April 1984. But you tell me, do you think Don't Look Any Further Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda been number 1 instead? Thanks for listening to today's episode of Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda been number 1. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button. And if you're interested in checking out future episodes, then feel free to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you tap on the bell to get instant notifications of new episodes. In addition to subscribing, you can buy me a cup of coffee to show extra support for this channel. Click on the link in the video's description to send a donation in any amount you choose. With that said, the few minutes you take out of your day to simply check out this channel and my content is greatly appreciated. So, until next time, be happy, be safe, spread love, enjoy life, and good old soul music. Peace.